Welcome back to one of my favorite sports podcasts, Frizz and the Grizz, with your host Trudeau and my guy, Keith Frizzy Frizz.
Hello and welcome back to Frizz and the Grizz. It's your boy Trudeau. Thank you for joining us live, July 28th on a Monday. Checking us on live on Twitch, Facebook, or YouTube. Preferred option, Twitch. Check us out on that handle at dfrizzy_frizz5. Or maybe you're watching us next day on podcast, Apple, Spotify, all those good places. If you want to watch us as well on podcast, check us out on Spotify. Our video is up there as well. Fun-ish show, if you'd say, different for us, a little more of a full segment show. Like we usually have little segments, right? But today's going to be one focus, and that is on the NFL. We're doing a NFL Power Hour with my guy D. First, before I tell you what the Power Hour is, got to ask my guy D, what it do?
What up, bro? What up? What up? It's funny because you said fun-ish, and I was like, damn, way to set the table for that one for whoever's here. Hey, man, everything's good over here. A hell of a last 2 weeks, I'll tell you that, when it comes to, like, being busy. But, you know, that's just life, not even unfortunately. Just fortunately, that's just life, being busy as fuck.
Well, I meant fun-ish as in, like, I feel like we're going to be real serious about, like, hardcore football talk. No nonsense today. We're talking about straight NFL for about an hour or so. So, like, we're going to be in the weeds with some knowledge for you.
Okay, I like that. I guess you recovered on that one. It's like you hitting the bunker, and then you're like, and then boom, put the next one on the green. Like,
we're all game day today, man. We are like game face on football for an hour straight at you. That's why it's fun-ish. It's fun, but also very serious football talk.
I'm down for it.
Good busy for you or bad busy?
Good busy. The oldest started kindergarten last week, so like that's been hell because she's getting used to going to school and like being tired as hell when she gets home, which has made her absolutely miserable when she gets home because she's now going without naps, and it's like, duh. So it's been hell, but it's fun because like she's now in actual like kindergarten. The youngest gets upset because she's not in kindergarten, so like that's always fun to deal with. But other than that, man, it's just hot as hell down here. You know, we're swimming when we can, but trying to stay inside because when that shit hits triple digits, it's like there's no need to be outside. Like it's hard to breathe. It's hard to just do anything. You can't even walk to the car without sweating. It's like, I'm good. Just keep me inside. I got a fan because of this. Like we're chilling, bro. We're chilling.
And yet, for those watching us on video, my guy D, after complaining about how hot as hell is over there, my man's wearing a sweatshirt.
Yeah, gotta do it. It's always hoodie weather. I got shorts on, but it's always hoodie weather, bro.
You're a true Southerner now, my friend. All right, let's get into the football talk. Let's do the NFL Power Hour. All right, let me set the table for those who don't know what the Power Hour is. What I'm going to do is we're going to rank all teams from 1 to 32, all NFL teams. However, it is not a traditional ranking system. This is a system that I stole from Mina Kimes. I love her podcast. Check that one out if you're a big football fan. But what I'm going to do is present D with two teams, and they will go head-to-head for who is a better team, and that will be his placement in the power ranking. I'm going to give you the teams, D, in what order that makes sense as far as a power ranking is concerned, but it's a different approach. So you're going to take like a minute or so and kind of give me a little something on each team and why one team is superior to the other, and we're going to get through your rankings, 1 to 32 that way. Do you understand the premise?
Kind of, but, you know, if you need to course correct in the middle, we'll course correct in the middle.
All right, D, let me hit you up with the first two teams for our Power Hour. I'm going to give you Philadelphia Eagles and the Baltimore Ravens for the number one spot in your power ranking. Now, after this, you can also say if you disagree with what I'm giving you as far as where you're choosing from, but I'm going to pick the two teams you're choosing from in your ranking. Okay. Eagles or Ravens?
As much as I want to give it to an AFC team right now, because I think the AFC is a little stronger, it's the Eagles. The Eagles are the number one team.
Okay. Now give me a little bit about why you're picking the Eagles over the Ravens.
So Super Bowl champions, right? And they're not just champions. Jalen Hurts has been to the Super Bowl twice in his career already. This D-line is incredibly young. They have, I think it's like they just signed Josh Uche, came out for as like a replacement spilling lineman. They have the number one offensive line in the league, and they have Saquon Barkley. So it's like you're doing all of the things that carry into January and February football. They have that. And it doesn't matter if they go 10-6. It doesn't matter if they go 11-5, 11-6, whatever their 17-game schedule is now. It doesn't matter. They have this team set up to make a playoff push again because of the way that their roster is set up.
Yeah, I think comparing these two teams, both teams have an extremely deep roster. You can look top to bottom. There's not a ton of holes on either team, offensive or defensively. I have to lean Eagles with you as well. I would love to say the Ravens because we've seen how high their highs are with Lamar Jackson's. But they have yet to actually get over the hump. This Eagles team is battle tested. And this is a little weird to say this, but because both teams have an older running back, but both teams heavily reliant on their running backs. And I know Derrick Henry is an absolute freak. He's been a freak his whole career. At some point, the wheels are going to fall off. I'm not saying his wheels are going to fall off, but like one of these backs are due to start coming back to earth and becoming like a more, just from great to like above average. And I feel like Derrick Henry's probably that guy in the pecking order to probably go.
I don't think it's like a major signing, but it's still a signing. The Eagles got AJ Dillon. And Quadzilla that was over in Green Bay, like he did a really good job with Aaron Jones as spilling running backs.
Fair.
He's not a lead back, right? He's not somebody that you need to go get on like your fantasy team, but it's enough to take responsibility off of Saquon because Saquon's going to get his numbers. He's going to get his yards, right? But you don't have to rush him 20, 25 times when you have someone like an AJ Dillon back there who's just a bigger version of Saquon Barkley to take away 10 carries and soften up the defense. So then there's your 50-yard sprint that Saquon usually has.
True. And then Ravens, you got Justice Hill. Not a great comparison.
Yeah, it's just him and Keaton Mitchell, I think, are the backups there.
Eagles, your number one team. That brings me to my second matchup for you. So the Ravens will stay alive on the board for the number 2 ranking in your power rankings. I'm going to give you the Chiefs. Okay. Ravens versus the Kansas City Chiefs.
You know, he's at the top for a reason, but the team still is struggling. So I'm going to go with the Ravens as the number 2. I like what the Chiefs tried to address in the offseason when it comes to defensive line play because they need that. They also needed offensive line, alignment to protect Mahomes. But the Ravens are good, right? We know how good they can be. Lamar's going to come back and have another MVP type season. If Zay Flowers is available, we'll see what he can do. I know that there's been some talk off season with like some of his mischiefs that he's had. Rashad Bateman was a great receiver for them. Mark Andrews will be back full from injury. Hopefully he's not dropping another pass. So I think the Ravens, based off of how far they got last year, how good they looked last year, yeah, they're the number 2 team in the league right now.
Yeah, and if it wasn't for the Ravens just kind of vomiting on themselves in the playoffs and some of these bad losses, they would have done a lot better last year. The Chiefs are interesting because I think they're better this year, the Chiefs. Right? Yeah. Xavier Worthy really became that guy we thought he could be towards the end of the season in the playoffs. Like he really elevated his game. You're getting Rashee Rice back, albeit he might be suspended for a couple games depending on how that plays out, the car incident. I think this Chiefs team, and they added to the offensive line as well, which was one of their Achilles last year. While they're better, again, we talked a lot last year about the Chiefs and winning a lot of very close one-possession games. I don't remember the exact number. They're like something like 7-0 or 7-1 in these one-possession games during the regular season. While they're better on paper, I do think some of that will regress to the norm, and they will not be this insane team when it comes to one-possession games. So I would give the edge to the Ravens, even though I believe the Chiefs coming into this year is a better team. And in fact, this Chiefs team might go farther and win the Super Bowl this year, even though I don't have them number 1 in the power ranking.
And that's not a bad assessment by any means. I just think the Ravens have a higher ranked team. And I forgot to mention this too, because this is huge. With them getting torched in the playoffs last year, that being the defense of the Baltimore Ravens, they signed Jair Alexander, the corner from Green Bay. Mm-hmm. That helps them. We know how good they can be if they have Marlon Humphrey and Jair out there doing what they should do as a secondary. I think Van Noy usually is the issue up the edge when it comes to right ends, and then they got, I think it's Odefe Owe is another edge rusher that's like They just cause problems.
Mhm.
And if they're able to put all of this together, along with Roquan Smith, who is an incredible linebacker, they'll have their defense and their explosive offense. So I love Mahomes, but I just think the Ravens team is better right now than the Chiefs team.
So this brings me to a really interesting one for you, because the Chiefs now are still on the board. They fall into the number 3 debate. A team that I feel like is pretty similar to them as well as far as quality. And by the way, I think there's a clear gap in the NFL. Like top 4 teams are in a group of their own.
Mhm.
Chiefs versus, I'm going to slide in the Bills next to try to compete for the number 3 slot in this power ranking.
This one is actually closer than I would like it to be, because the Chiefs, we know what their the Bills, we know what their ceiling is. They get to a specific spot and they just get stopped every single year. So going into this season, because of how 15 has that S on his chest, I got to give it to the Chiefs being the 3rd best team, and then the Bills being the 4th. The Bills did address some issues. They picked up, I think, Elijah Moore, a good receiver, which, not saying he's like groundbreaking, but he's good, right? He should help them. Josh Palmer was out in LA. They picked him up. So it's a good couple of pieces to help out Josh Allen, who just had, I think, Khalil Shakur. That was it. I think it was his only receiver last year because the kid,
Coleman maybe too.
but he didn't really peak until like the last 3 games of the year.
They added the guy from the Browns too, right?
When it comes to like running back or wide receiver. I know they got Josh Palmer and Elijah Moore. I just said that. Yeah, Elijah Moore.
Oh,
He was on the Jets and then he went to the Browns, if that's what you mean.
No, maybe he's gone now. I'm drawing a blank. I'm sorry.
No worries. They also picked up, and these are 2 really good. This is a really good name. I know he's potentially over the hill when it comes to skill, but Joey Bosa. They had, what's his name? Von Miller. They lost Von Miller, right? So to still pick up a good edge rusher, if he's healthy, Joey Bosa's not his younger brother Nick, obviously, but like he can help cause issues in that AFC East. I don't think, even with those pieces that they added, though, that they've surpassed the Chiefs, the Ravens, or the Eagles. I think they're still the 3rd best team in the AFC.
Yeah, I think I'm with you. I would probably go Chiefs as well. I was thinking of Amari Cooper, by the way.
Didn't they lose? Did Amari Cooper go there?
He got traded there. I forgot. Then he's not no longer with the team.
He went somewhere else.
I would probably just give this is kind of a cop out, but I would probably give the edge to the Chiefs just because of Mahomes, because we know his greatness. While Allen, and he's improved so much since his rookie year, he has very little of those boneheaded mistakes. I trust Mahomes and Andy Reid in those tight games to just find ways to win. That's what you were all about last year, D, is about the Chiefs in these close games finding ways to win because of their experience both in the coaching room and in the quarterback position. But either way, like I could see the Bills any given Sunday beating the Chiefs. I think if these teams play 10 times, the Chiefs win 6, the Bills win 4.
Yeah, I would 100%. I was going to say 5-5. It just really depends on like how the game ends. Whoever's got the ball is going to win. And it just so happens every time that the Chiefs and Bills face each other, they let the Chiefs have the ball last and they end up winning. It's like that's you got to put the nail in the coffin. We saw the Bills lose when they had the lead with 17 seconds left.
It's crazy.
Like that's how much there is no room for error against the Chiefs.
Well, so far we got 4 teams down. We got three spots locked up. No one slid yet. Everyone has kind of stood ground.
I wrote 4, but I haven't picked the 4th best team yet. You're right.
The 4th one I think is another pretty obvious one. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe we'll go somewhere else. Because I did say personally, I think there's like a tier of 4 at top. I'm going to give you the Lions as an option against the Bills. And I'm just saying, before you go and make your pick, the biggest concerns for me with the Lions, and I'm sure yourself as well, is like the brain drain, right? They lose their OC, they lose their DC. What is this team going to look like schematically? Are they going to have the same identity coming into the next year?
This is a good one. When I think of the Lions, I think Dan Campbell gets them wins because of just his tenacity, the way that he coaches, his aggressiveness. I think you see a step up for Jahmyr Gibbs based off of the season that he had last year. I think he might peak as the best running back in the league. And then I think you might also have a huge jump with Jamison Williams, who was their speedy wide receiver. I know people aren't going to like this, but I think they're going backwards. I think I'm giving the fourth best team to the Lions.
There we go. We got our first slide in the draft, or I don't know how you want to try the power hour.
Yeah, and I mean the reason why I'm saying this, I love the Bills. We just know what their ceiling is, and that's not good, right? Like, and their ceiling, it's like AFC Championship. They're right there with the Ravens, but the Ravens have a better roster, so like they get the edge. Whereas the Lions, they made it to the playoff. They were 13-2, 13-3, something like that, and then they got like bamboozled by a rookie quarterback. I don't see that happening again. Like Jaden Daniels was just on some unreal tear last year. They put up 50 points, albeit the Lions had like 70% of their defensive roster on IR.
Yep.
So we're hoping that they come back healthy. Aiden Hutchinson obviously has looked phenomenal in the offseason training with his physical therapy. There's not really many additions that I would say that like jump off of the board for them. Like they picked up DJ Reed as a corner. They needed to address their secondary. They picked up Tim Patrick. They re-signed Tim Patrick, which helps with their wide receiver core. But I don't think there was any. I'm looking at their offseason moves. There's nothing that goes, oh yes, that is a great move right there. Kirby Joseph was a good safety that they got, but like nothing that moves the needle. But their team was really damn good last year. And if they don't come across a buzzsaw of a hot quarterback going on a like Eli Manning type run playoff wise, they might have made the Super Bowl over the Eagles if they played them. But that's just how the NFL works.
Yeah, both teams, Bills and Lions, both have probably top 5 offensive lines, which is hugely important in this league. Lions probably have the best offensive line in football. I personally went with the Bills just because, again, I think with Josh Allen, you have a more dynamic offense, right, with the running as well. And I do give the edge defensively to the Bills. It's hard really to judge, though, right? Because like you said, going into the second half of the season, the Lions were a mash squad of just guys trying to survive the season.
Out. So many O's on their roster.
I am a little worried they didn't really shore up the pass rush this offseason,
right.
But we will see. So you're going with the Lions. All right, so the Bills slid one spot. I'm going to give you a team to wins the Bills. I'm going to slide in the Packers to try to take on the Bills for your 5th spot in the rankings.
It's the Bills. You don't have to. If that's where we're going for that one, I'm going with the Bills. I thought you were going to say somebody else. Packers, I can't trust them yet. I really can't. I don't want to say that they're the 3rd best team. Like obviously we got the Lions. I'm not going to say that the Bears have surpassed them by any means or the Vikings. I don't believe in their coaching. I don't believe in their quarterback right now. I just don't.
You were big on Love too, like last season.
Because he was supposed to elevate his team, and he just didn't last year. I understand they won 11 games, so like I'm not making it seem like they did terrible, but like he got them exactly to where they had been going with Aaron Rodgers. But he's supposed to be the guy to elevate them, and he hasn't. And I know that they're saying, well, it's technically we can only say he's a 3-year quarterback for so long because he's been in the league for almost 10. I know he sat for a couple of years, right? I know it's not 10 years, but like he's been in the league for a long time. That like window of opportunity, it's going to close, and you're starting to see who he is as a quarterback. So like we can't just give him the same rope as a Caleb Williams because like, well, they've been in the league for the same amount of time. No, like or starting quarterback for the same amount of time. Like, no, he's been in the NFL. So like you have to judge him off of his tenure in the NFL. And it's just not, it hasn't been great, and they don't look good in the playoffs. So I'm giving the edge to the Bills on this one. I think that they would be the 5th best team. And the Packers didn't address anything in the offseason that would make them a better team. They literally made no moves. They lost people. They lost Jair Alexander.
Yeah, I think Bills is the correct choice here. I would go with the Bills as well. I would say you said they had 11 wins last year, the Packers?
11-6, yeah.
I mean, that's a really tough division, right? They're playing the Vikings, Lions, and say what you want about the Bears, but they have weapons, right? So you put the Packers in, I don't know, the AFC East, last year.
But they're not.
I'm just
Don't do
saying.
that. I get what you're saying. And you put anybody in the NFC South, and they win the division. So
Yeah.
you can't do that.
Yeah, I'm just saying, let's not be too low on the Packers. I'm with you on the Bills, but I think you're poo-pooing the Packers too hard. All right, you gave me a little, okay, with the Packers. So let me throw out a team that I think maybe you were looking for. Let's see how you feel about this one. I'm going to keep the Packers on the board and add the Washington Commanders against the Packers.
That is what I like to hear. Give me the Washington Commanders on this one.
Want that.
And this isn't even I'm not being a homer. I'm not just talking about Jaden Daniels. I'm not a homer when at that. That's QB2. But the Commanders went all in this offseason. They see that their window is we got our guy, we got our quarterback. We got our offensive coordinator. Cliff Kingsbury looks like a head ball coach out there, and the plays that he was able to draw up to make Jaden Daniels feel as comfortable as he did all of last season. They picked up Deebo Samuel. I know that's like he's past his prime, is what people would say. It's still another target, right? Another target in an offense that has Terry McLaurin, as long as he stays healthy and not healthy, gets his contract done. But that's going to get done. It just always does. Zach Ertz just continues to be a stud tight end. And we know how nasty their defense is. Guess what? They picked up Von Miller just because, to have out there. So yeah, I'm gonna say they're a good team out there when it comes to why you give me that look?
Well, you were praising Von Miller like he's still Von Miller, but
no, but I said a name. That's all you need to be.
Is nasty. I thought. Did you say their defense is nasty?
Did I? If I did, I just meant as they got Bobby Wagner. I'm pretty sure. They were pretty good down.
They were one of the defenses. They were one of the worst. They're like,
oh really?
Bottom 10 defense, I think.
Well, hey, then they got a really good offense. We'll just bank on
that. I will say, the Commanders this offseason, one of their things going into the offseason was hey, are they going to address some of their defensive issues?
They did.
They did not really at all. You said they did, but they spent their draft capital, right? Mm-hmm. Adding to the offensive line, which again, I do think adding to the offensive line, if you're watching, is extremely important. I think their first round pick was an offensive lineman, right? You have your franchise quarterback in JD. What do you call him? QB2. Yeah. They have their guy, Jaden Daniels, right? And the knocks coming into the league was he was slender build, right? They're adding to the offensive line to protect him, keep him upright. They add offensive weapons in Deebo Samuel. I'm just concerned they did not add to the defense. And then a crazy stat from last year is that on fourth down, they were 20 of 22 on fourth down, 87% success rate. That is not going to stick next year. Maybe it will, but not at that rate, right? So there are red flags for the Commanders of this thing could regress a little bit offensively. And if they didn't get better on defense, I don't know where that leaves them. So you're going Commanders here. Packers still on the slide. They've slid two in a row. Here's a good, interesting one. Packers versus Texans.
Ooh. I
That's
love,
a tough one, right?
Yeah, I love CJ Stroud. I just think he got his shit pushed in so bad last year when it comes to offensive line play. I don't know PFF, but if there were a ranking for, I think they were bottom 3 when it comes to the worst offensive lines in the league.
They're poor offensively, and they didn't address the offensive line much either.
No, they didn't. So I gotta give it to the Packers just because although the Packers lost players, I think they have a better team put together to fit for their needs. They still got a great running game. The Packers still have what's the kid that Josh Jacobs. They still have Josh Jacobs. They still have great receivers. They still have a really good quarterback. I can't put the Texans above the Packers right now because the Texans did not address a single thing that hurt them last year.
Yeah, offensively, it might be a struggle. It might be a struggle offensively. They should get a little healthier receiver, right? They had really shitty injury luck, if we're gonna be honest, offensively last year, so that didn't help. I love the Texans defense, though, man. I think that might be a top 3 defense in the game. That defense is terrifying.
Will Anderson, I think, is their leader, right? I think he's up to that's. And they picked up Danielle Hunter. I think they picked up Danielle Hunter. Yes, they did. Yes, yeah, from the Vikings. Nasty DN
defense.
Yeah, they got Derek Stingley coming off on an All-Pro season. They have a really good defense, but it doesn't matter if you give up. You could stop somebody from scoring, but if you can't score, because your quarterback is on his ass. The defense is going to eventually break. You can be bend. No defense allows 0 points per game, right? So if anything, it hurts you when your offense is so bad because your defense is on the field so often then, if that's the case.
Yeah, I think Packers versus Texans, if you see the same Packers versus the same Texans from last year, I agree Packers would be the choice. But I do think the Texans should regress a little bit back to the mean offensively. Like CJ Stroud's rookie season, everyone was singing every praise for CJ Stroud in that offense. And the defense, the holes in the offensive line really killed him last year. I'm anticipating it gets a little, even though you lost players in the offensive line, that offense should look somewhat better next year.
The hope is there. Damn, they got Aziz Al-Shir too. My goodness.
Yeah,
they're good. They're good. They're good. He did his thing when he was in San Francisco, and then he played in Tennessee, I think, last year for his contract because he got traded. He's good. They got a nasty defense. They got C.J. Gardner-Johnson at the other side of Stingley.
Yeah.
Like they're good, but I can't give them the jump over the Packers because like their offensive line was so bad. Like we were afraid that he was going to have like a career-ending injury because of how much he was just getting.
He was pressured the most of any quarterback in the league last year.
He almost broke David Carr's record for most times sacked, which is also held by a Houston Texan. Like they regressed to being an expansion team on offense. That's how bad it was.
I think the Texans slide will stop here.
Okay,
two teams, questions on the same side of the ball. Texans are still on the board. I'm going to throw in the Vikings, slide the Vikings in. Now, the Vikings were 13 wins last year, 13-4.
Very strange. Yeah.
Sam Darnold with the quarterback we didn't believe in Sam Darnold. But we're now getting in the rookie finally. He's getting, the last year's rookie is getting his shot. JJ McCarthy. I will say all reports out of camp, not great for McCarthy. What I've heard is verbiage like, hey, like, we're just still trying to get it, put things together day by day. Like, it wasn't like, oh, he's got it. It was very much setting this tone of like, we're trying here on offense. Yeah. So it doesn't seem like it's going well for McCarthy right now.
Yeah. Give me the Texans. 100% on that one. I am out on, and I hate to say this because they got Jettas over there. Jettas is he's going to get his numbers no matter who his quarterback is. But yeah, at some point, you got to put a competent QB out there in the NFL. You just have to. Your team is only as good as your quarterback. And I'm not going to say I didn't really believe in JJ, but I know what he did at Michigan wouldn't warrant me to be like, oh, yeah, he's the QB of my future. Like, I think that Michigan team that he played on was a dirty defensive team that allowed him to just do what he needed to do, scramble around and make some like Johnny Manziel type plays. But like we see that didn't transition well for him in the NFL. JJ McCarthy doesn't have the strongest arm. He's not the most athletic on the field. So like he's a tweener. And when you don't have a really good quarterback in this league, your team will struggle. Also, he is a rookie quarterback. I don't care if he was out all of last year. This is going to be his first season of NFL speed. You can't simulate it in practice. So it's going to hit him. The first 5 games are going to determine exactly how well the season's going to go. So I would definitely say that the Texans have a better spot because CJ's in year 3 and JJ's in year 1.
Yeah, I know they had to kind of let Darnold walk just because you have a rookie contract. But I think if all things were equal and the money were the same, they probably would have wanted to keep Darnold.
Yeah. If they didn't draft him in the first round, they would have kept him.
It is what it is. And I wonder if Jefferson's going to take a step back as far as his production, because I know he's excellent. But if McCarthy's not willing to push the ball downfield, which it sounds like he's just dinking and dunking right now in camp, that's not great for him.
Because, Jefferson does. He's the better open in space receiver than Jamar Chase, because that's the 1 and 2 in the league.
Yeah,
and we know one of them has one of the best quarterbacks in the league. The other one doesn't, but one of them is better with the ball in his hands, and that's Justin Jefferson.
Well, speaking of Jamar Chase, we're going to keep the Vikings on the board. I'm going to offer you the Bengals as their competition for the next slot in our power rankings. And it's a tough one because like both teams have glaring issues. Personally, and I don't want to taint your opinion here, I think the Bengals have far worse issues to worry about than the Vikings. Like the Vikings, last year still had an excellent defense. And you can argue that the Vikings defense was excellent because they had leads in games and they could dial up the blitz. And will that happen this year? I don't know. But the Bengals defense, man, like it was a
So
problem
bad.
last year. They added an edge rusher, right, who just recently signed, but like the defense isn't markedly better.
No, and
But you still have Burrow, and you still have
the
those.
reason, again, we're gonna break trend on this, and I'm only doing it because of the quarterback. I think you can go far with you can go farther with a phenomenal quarterback and a shitty team than you can with a subpar quarterback and a great team. I just don't think you can get as much out of JJ McCarthy as you will with Joe Burrow. Whereas if you put Joe Burrow on any other team, I think they had with last season's record. Like I think the stat was the Bengals, the season that Joe Burrow had, if he had on any other team, they would have been like a 13-win team, number wise, and like what the stats he put up, the games that they were leading, situational, they would have been a 13-win team. So I'm gonna give the edge to the Bengals just because of the camaraderie that they have on offense.
Okay.
As much as their defense is very, very, very bad, I get that part, but offensively, you still got Joe. You still got Jamar. You still got T, right? I know they picked up Mike Gesicki as a tight end. That helps, obviously. Andre Isho, I can't pronounce his last name, but it's like Ishovis or something like that. He came on as a slot wide receiver last year. Go look him up. He's pretty good. But like they have the offense. It's just their defense. So hopefully some of these moves that they picked up in the offseason help them. I don't think there was a needle mover move, but let's just hope that it helps them.
Yeah, they're going to score a lot of points. I know that for a fact. I just don't know how many points they're going to give up. All right, Vikings are still sliding. It's our second team to actually fall in these rankings.
Is that 9?
I've lost. I'll have to go through at the end and see.
Right, no, you're good. I think I'm at 9, so I think we're good.
I'm going to throw another team, and I'm curious where you go with this one. A team that I think has a very good offense, a quarterback who is polarizing. You could go either way, but an established quarterback against the Vikings. Are the Vikings going to slide more? I'm going to offer you the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to go against the Vikings.
Ooh, I like this one.
It's a tough one.
Baker just got a deal done, right? Wasn't that the headline?
I don't know if he was extended. I didn't see it. If it was,
they're doing something to rework his contract.
Okay.
Bucks.
Can I make the case for the Bucks?
Yeah, go ahead, because it's your team. Go ahead while I think about it.
Top 5 offensive line in the NFL. Although I think their left tackle is going to miss a couple games. He had to have some arthroscopic knee surgery.
Kristen Wirfs, yep, he's out. Yep.
Continuity in offense. All 11 starters are back with the team, albeit Godwin's probably not going to be fully ready at the start of camp. They did draft a wide receiver in the first round to add to their weapons. So this offense is stacked.
Mm-hmm.
Defensively, they didn't do a ton. It wasn't the worst defense, but it wasn't a very good defense. It was a bottom 10 defense in the league. They did add some cornerbacks in the later rounds, so they did try to address some of those things. I don't know if it's going to pay fruit early on, but maybe as the season progresses, you see these guys develop more and get more accustomed to NFL scheme. So that's my case for the Bucks. I think they're a good team, but again, the Vikings, man, it's all about what comes out of McCarthy, right? Like we know they have a good defense. It's what is your faith in McCarthy in this offense? Because it's a 13-win team. Like how many losses are they going to tally at it? Like how many more losses are they going to have with that downgrade to McCarthy?
A lot more. So give me the Bucks.
Let's go.
I'm telling you, like you guys, I say you guys, whoever's listening, whoever's watching, it's not hating JJ McCarthy. I promise you. It's just watching what he did in college and relating it to what he could do in the NFL. I don't think he's that polarizing of a quarterback. And because it's still his rookie season, you're going to get the rookie problems that we saw Caleb Williams have to go through, right? Like we saw these other Mac Jones, right? We saw these quarterbacks struggle when they get to the NFL. The Bucks are an established team. I'll give you that. And I'll take what I know is a Baker Mayfield. Like, is he an MVP quarterback? No. But I know what I can get from him from his last 2 seasons that he's played in the NFL. I understand his consistency now. So I'm all in with the Baker Mayfield type quarterback. I think they also, you guys picked up Hassan Reddick on defense.
Good add.
Phenomenal linebacker / D end. So like the team Buccaneers, although the Vikings again were a better record last year, we also saw 2 years ago when they had was it 3 years ago when they had Kirk Cousins? And like they were randomly like 15-1, and we were like, what the hell? And they had like 10 wins of like one possession games, and we were like, oh, it's gonna run out, and then it did. Like that's the same roster. So like nothing's really changed besides the quarterback, but like they're gonna keep going backwards because the quarterbacks are getting worse. Kirk Cousins was better than Sam Darnold, and Sam Darnold is better than JJ McCarthy. So like the record is gonna keep going down. They were 15-1, then they were 13-3. Well, then they're gonna be like 9-8. Like that's just what it is.
Keep sliding in our draft. Just quick question before we go on to the next one. If I gave you the Bengals Bucks, where would you go with there? Still Bengals, or would you have debated Bucks?
I would have said the Bucks because of their.
Oh, I like you today.
I'm gonna be real. Like as much as I love Joey B's QB1, their team suck. Their defense sucks. They're so bad. But a good a phenomenal quarterback can cover holes on a team. A good quarterback can't. If Jimmy Garoppolo isn't covering holes on a team, right? Brock Purdy, I don't care if you guys don't like it or not, he's not covering holes on the 49ers. Joe Burrow can. He's just that damn good, and JJ McCarthy is not. But Baker Mayfield, I would give the Bucks an edge over the Bengals. Yes, I would.
Let's see if the Vikings continue to slide. I'm going to switch up and go down my list a little bit to throw another team at you that might.
All right,
you pick them over the Vikings. I'm going to throw the LA Rams.
Ooh,
against the Vikings.
I'm nervous because
that's like a tough one.
Stafford's back. I'm saying this because of like I'm his age. Like this shit doesn't go away.
Oh,
right? He's coming off of an injury from last year. He's injured already this season where they're limiting him in camp. They've restructured his contract, which usually means like there could be something out there. They're trying to get out of the money that they have to pay him.
Are you gonna say Vikings?
Give me the Rams, man. I'm telling you.
God, the Vikings.
Yeah, give me the Rams. Look, you're comparing the teams, but you're not comparing the quarterback. I'm telling you, like I think there's going to be a huge drop off. I think the Rams picked up Devontae Adams on offense too.
They did,
so like, you got Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams. Like, come on. Like I know he's probably got a bad back. He's like me. He's got a bad back. But like Stafford just has to go out there and try to throw the ball. That's all he's got to really do. And they got Kyron Williams. I mean, Kyron Williams is the running back.
The Rams are legit. They're a very good football team. I think they did have a bad injury to the offensive line this off season, so it does hurt them a little bit. But that defense is actually like came into the season last year
young
as a very like bottom 10 defense.
Dude, Jared Verse? Was that him?
Monster.
Nasty. He turned into Von Miller.
The second half of that season, the Rams were like a top 10 defense. So they've been trending upwards, and they have Sean McVay. Say what you want. He's a top 3-5 coach in the league still.
He's an easy top 5 coach.
So, all right. So the Vikings still slipping. All right. We have to find a place for the Vikings here.
We got to, but I'm telling you, man, they starting a rookie quarterback ain't easy.
I'm throwing the other LA team in here. Let's see if we can switch this up, because I know you were a big hater of Justin Herbert. Vikings versus Chargers. Are we taking the Vikings yet? Or are we still going to take the other team?
So let me check to see what the Chargers did this offseason, because
they added a running back in the draft, but they didn't have receiver help.
They also picked up Najee Harris as a running back.
Okay. They're going to be a very run heavy ground and pound team, which is it makes sense for Harbaugh. Mm-hmm. I just wish they would. I still believe in Justin Herbert as a
I don't not believe in him anymore. I'm glad that like other people see that like who cares if you're 6'6", laser rocket arm and can run. You're still gonna play quarterback. And for everybody that thought he's gonna have 50 passing touchdowns and 10 rushing touchdowns, that's just not Justin Herbert. So pump your brakes on him with that. Give me the Chargers.
Okay, the slide stops for the Vikings. Oh, wait, you took the Chargers.
Give me the Chargers. Give me the Chargers. I think they have not as good as an offense because they don't have the star receiver that Justin Jefferson is on the Minnesota Vikings, but they have Ladd. Ladd came out as one of the best receivers in the NFL last year, Ladd McConkey. Quentin Johnson really isn't shit, but they have Najee Harris, who is the only rusher in the NFL to have 1,000 yards rushing every single season since he's been in the league. So it's still there. Defensively, I know they got Derwin James. They picked up, I think it was Elijah Molden and Dante Jackson to help out with their corner situation. Yeah, I'm gonna go. I think this is where like the bar is very flip a coin. So the teams that you give me a little bit closer, but yeah, I'm gonna take the Chargers with this one.
I think the Vikings have slid at least 6 spots in our rankings so far.
Yeah, well, I mean, you're looking at the overall. I'm looking at the quarterback.
Let me ask you this with the Vikings. What is your like? If you had to just say, I'm Vegas, I'm making over under. How many wins are you
8.
saying? Over under 8.5.
I'd say over 8.5. Yeah, I think they get to 9, but this isn't a playoff. I don't think the Vikings are a playoff team.
I think their odds right now, if you were to bet the Viking season total, it's set at 9.5. So you might want to go on to FanDuel D and hit that under.
Too high for that. You're not getting 10 wins out of this team.
All right, this is an interesting one because you keep saying I don't believe in the Vikings because of their quarterback situation, quarterback. They have a good team outside of the JJ McCarthy,
Yes.
which is an unknown. It's not a complete dud right now. It's just an unknown. I'm going to give you a team that's very similar as far as they have a lot of good support, especially on the defense. In my opinion, maybe the best defense, maybe the best, one of the top 2 defenses in the league. But a quarterback I know you do not like, D. So what are you going to do with this? We keep the Vikings on the board. I added the Denver Broncos.
Broncos country. Let's ride.
Broncos country. Let's ride.
This is from my guy T because I know he's a big avid Broncos fan. I don't think they really addressed much this offseason as a Broncos team. I don't remember there being.
They did add a running back.
J.K. Dobbins,
no, they drafted his name one of the top 2 rounds, I think. So they went out and made a point to address the running back
from North Carolina.
Yeah,
no, UCF. They got R.J. Harvey from UCF. I don't think that's enough. I think here's where we draw the line. As good as I think the Vikings have a better team for this. So
Okay.
I would say I would take the Vikings over the Broncos right now. Yeah.
Was it close for you?
Yes, and you get more. I know more about what. Excuse me. I know more about what Bo Nix can bring to the team, but it took a while for them to figure out what their offense was last year. Sean Payton found it out more in the second half of the season, but by then it was a little bit too late. You're also going to see if like teams start to figure out Bo Nix now because it's his second season. So yeah, I can't let the Vikings slip behind.
That's fine.
Another young quarterback that really wouldn't make too
The
much
slide
sense.
finally stopped.
Vikings have a good team.
I'm big on the Broncos. I like what they're building there, man. That's gonna be that's gonna be a team that sucks to play next year.
They're annoying. Their defense is annoying. You don't know what the hell you're going to get on offense. They can't run the damn ball. So but they got a better running back now. You just have no idea what you're going to get on the offensive side of things. Their defense is annoying to play against, though.
Well, speaking about not knowing what you're going to get, Broncos stay on the board. I'm going to throw a team that could go either way this year. I think it'd probably be a south direction, but we'll see. Broncos versus 49ers, right? The 49ers, they were just littered with injuries last year, right? They lost Trent Williams for a stretch, right? They lost Christian McCaffrey. Debo was in and out. They lose Ayuk for the season. It's a real unknown with this 49ers team, right? But 2 years ago, were they not in the Super Bowl 2 years ago?
Yeah.
So maybe I have them too low as an option for you. Maybe you would have chosen them higher against some of these other teams, but I'm going to offer them now to you. Broncos, 49ers.
This one's tough because, yes, they were in the Super Bowl 2 years ago. This isn't the same team, though. It really isn't. They have injuries derail a window, and I think they have more red on their screen than anybody in the league right now. I mean, maybe the Lions are right with them when it comes to injuries. We don't know what we're getting out of Brandon Ayuk. Jawan Jennings wants to be paid like a number one. They just lost Debo. Christian McCaffrey, who the hell knows what you're going to get out of that? And Brock Purdy is potentially on a contract here. I'm going Broncos on this one because there's more of a structured. They have more of a structured team versus we don't know what the hell is going to come back for the 49ers. Shanahan is a great coach, but this team last year was just in shambles because of injuries and having to place players all over the place. Was not good.
Yeah, I mean they have Ricky Pearsall too. I feel like the Niners are either going to go.
He didn't get shot this season. Good for him.
Jesus Christ! I think
It
they're
was he got like a side graze. Like he didn't get
yeah,
shot.
I know. The Niners are going to either go like 12-5 or 6-10. Like it's nowhere in between.
So remember when I went to we were talking about Brock Purdy a couple of weeks ago, and I was like the path of like the 49ers quarterback. It's actually a little bit deeper than that. The 49ers. The 49ers either make the conference championship and the Super Bowl, or they miss the playoffs. There's no in between.
Or you're saying they're going to make the Super Bowl this year?
I'm just saying, like the last 15 years, go back and look. They either make the NFC Championship and the Super Bowl, or they miss the playoffs. So there's no they get there and they eke out. No. They're going to the Super Bowl if they make there. So no, this is not a Super Bowl team. I'm gonna say they missed the playoffs.
But just in case, I'll sprinkle a few bucks on 49ers Super Bowl. All right, 49ers versus a team near and dear to your heart, Dallas Cowboys.
Oh my goodness, give me the 49ers.
That was
I
fast.
don't even need to go over this. The Cowboys are a shit show, and it has nothing to do with the players on the field. Just what's going on in the front office right now is going to cause problems on the field. Dak Prescott, as much as we clown him, he's out there trying to play president. Hey man, look, I know you haven't gotten paid yet. Just be patient. I said president, political. He's trying to keep everything kosher. They picked up another receiver. They picked up George Pickens. So I get that. But Jerry Jones is literally trying to tear this team apart. We're not paying people that are only going to play 50% of the season. Brother, what? That motherfucker's out there giving his life to go play for you, and you're going to say some public shit like that. And they got a new coach. So there's a lot of that 7-9 record that wait, that doesn't always happen. No, you might be close to that same record this year. You didn't really address anything as a team, albeit the Cowboys. They picked up a receiver, but they didn't need CD Lamb didn't need another receiver next to him. He was just that damn good that he could get his numbers without having a secondary receiver next to him. So it's a cool piece, cool toy, but no, they got way more internal issues with the coach being new, the owner really not caring about their team, causing friction with Micah Parsons. That is more of a problem than the roster itself. So yeah, give me the 49ers.
I'm going to go out on a limb with the Cowboys this year. I think Dak Prescott is going to have the best career year. It's the year of his career.
He had an MVP season a couple seasons ago. So
that's numbers this year. Just running back wise, they took a huge step back, right?
Yeah.
Javonte Williams and Miles Sanders are their backs. They added to the offensive line. They added a receiver who should be motivated in George Pickens, right? He's trying to play for a contract right now. And paired with CeeDee Lamb, they got a good tight end, Jake Ferguson. The defense isn't that good. I think Dak's going to be slinging this thing this year, man. He could put up 5,000 yards passing easily this year.
And I'm not against that. But the Cowboys' issues isn't to have anything to do with them playing on Sunday. The Cowboys' issues is everything that goes on between Monday and Saturday. That's going to be their problem. How they're prepping for games, who I don't even know who the head coach is, but how they're getting ready to play on Sunday. That is going to be the biggest issue for the Cowboys this year.
Cowboys versus Seahawks is your next option.
No, I'm not even going to say if.
They got defense.
They have, and Pete Carroll's not there still, is he?
No, Mike McDonald.
A younger coach will come with, I don't know how young he is, but he's younger than 80. I'll say that.
He's young, yeah.
A younger coach will come in with different ways to get people the ball, meaning Kenneth Walker, Jackson Smith, and Jigba. And albeit he's not the best quarterback coming out of the draft, but they're going to figure out a way to get Jalen Milroe on the field this year. There's more certainty of what you can get from the Seahawks defense also. I think they played very decently well last year. Give me the Seahawks over the Cowboys right now.
Your hate is showing, and I love it. All right, I like that pick. I'm gonna keep the Cowboys on the board.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to throw at you some more dysfunction as far as the quarterback's concerned. It's one of the most stable franchises in a long I could think of for the longest time. Cowboys versus Steelers.
Ooh, I love this one. Oh man. So they did they really address their quarterback situation by getting a 70-year-old Aaron Rodgers? Who knows, right? We
It's
won't
better
know.
than what they had last year, potentially.
True. But like, was it though? We say that, but we really don't know until he loads up.
It's like if you had 4 pennies in your pocket and you traded them for a nickel. Like it's
Yeah, like what did you really get as an upgrade?
you can't buy anything with that, but it's better.
So I'll give you that. I'm trying to think of what did they
I got
add?
you. They
What
have
did they add, though?
they have a guy named Mike Tomlin. And Mike
True.
Tomlin, that motherfucker will not lose a season.
He'll find a way to win 9 games. I'll give you that. That being said, just based off of the win total, yeah, give me the Steelers on this one because they're gonna find a way to not be 500 or less. They're gonna be 500 or above, and the Cowboys weren't. Cowboys have gotten worse than they did last year. They did nothing to address any pieces. They lost George Pickens, but they picked up DK. So, like, really depends on who you're looking for as a receiver when it comes to that. Jalen Warren obviously is like the running back now. Najee Harris is gone. And their defense is always their defense. TJ Watt is an MVP type defender that changes games. Darius Slay is now their corner. I'm pretty sure. I think they picked up Jalen Ramsey too. Oh yeah, give me the Steelers. The Steelers might actually be a good team if they get good quarterback play in that AFC North. Because the Bengals they can't beat them. The Bengals lose to the Steelers all the time. They lose to the Browns all the time too. So like just math wise, if Aaron Rodgers can just give you 3,500 passing yards, 25 touchdowns, 8 picks. If he can do that, yeah, this team could give you a run in the playoffs. Absolutely.
And to nobody's surprise, the Cowboys is falling in D's Power Hour rankings.
Not even a little bit.
All right.
The Steelers got really good. Outside of, I'm looking at it now, they got really good outside of Aaron Rodgers. Like Jalen Ramsey and Darius Slay are 2 fucking nasty corners that we're just brushing over that they just picked them up with TJ Watt on the edge.
They lost Minka, but
but he's a safety.
Yeah, he was like a hybrid safety. He does a little bit of everything.
Safety backer. I get that. I'll take 2 corners over a good safety though.
Fair enough. All right, here's another team. This is an interesting team, and I feel like 2 years ago this was everyone's darling team, and everyone is so sour on this team now. Cowboys are going to stay on the board. I'm going to throw the Dolphins at you.
I was staring at them when you were saying people are sour on them because like they have such a good window, but it's closing very, very quickly for them.
I've heard people are talking hot seat conversation for Mike McDaniels.
Not surprising because of what they had. They had a good team. They have a good team, and they're underachieving because their quarterback can't stay healthy. Did they address some areas? Sure, they got another running back for A-Chain with Alexander Madison, the kid that was in.
He stinks. Sorry.
Yeah, but he's not great. But they have another back for your guy that's 5'8".
They have Jalen Wright still. He's all right.
Tyreek Hill's still out there. They did just lose Jalen Ramsey. Bradley Chubb is over the hill when it comes to defense. They got Minka, which is not bad for the way that their style of defense is. In the AFC East, they can be the second best team. It's just riding on Tua.
This offense has gotten worse. Like Tyreek Hill is not the same Tyreek Hill he was when he first got in Miami.
You have a quarterback.
Jalen Waddle, I was a big Jalen Waddle believer. Like he was the guy in fantasy. I would be like, I need Jalen Waddle. He's my guy.
I want him to drop more, but I can't. I got to take the Cowboys on this one.
Yeah, I'm with you. I would take
many holes with the Dolphins.
Waddle's perpetually hurt. Tua's perpetually hurt. Their backup Zach Wilson. Like this, I'm kind of seeing why people are souring on the Dolphins.
They had a chance. They had the chance to be the best team in the AFC East. They had the Bills on the ropes, and then Tua his brains are scrambled eggs. So
they're like they were good, but then
Tua go out there and play. So I'm not mad at the kid for wanting to play, but like at some point, like you got to be able to walk when you're 30, And he's only 26.
This is where it starts getting interesting because now we start getting teams.
Is it though? Because like these are the shittier teams.
Well, that's what makes it interesting. It's
These are
like
the latter halves of the NFL.
so the Dolphins are on the board still. I think Cowboys is the right choice there. Dolphins versus Bears.
Ooh,
Can I say something?
you can go ahead.
Last year we talked about it coming into the season. I think the Bears win total was 9.5 last year.
Mhm.
It was either 8.5 or 9.5. It was a higher number. They have super disappointing rookie year from Caleb Williams.
Yep.
And it honestly, it seemed like that all stemmed from the coaching room. It was completely dysfunctional. They're getting Ben Johnson in, who took Jared Goff and made him
an MVP.
an MVP candidate at one point last season.
Yeah.
I'm higher on the Bears personally than most people right now are. I think if you told me 9.5 or 8.5 this year, I'm going over for the Bears.
I'm taking the Bears over the Dolphins easily. This one isn't even a question. I don't know what you're going to get from Caleb. I don't think you get as bad of quarterback play as you did last year. It's just he's going to get better. He got better throughout the season. He just wasn't as good as some other rookies had. He wasn't Jaden Daniels. So like that's his measuring stick because he was 1 and JD was 2. So like their careers are always going to go hand in hand to each other. They picked up Joe Thuney, great offensive lineman. They needed to address the offensive line area. I know that they had who was their big defensive? Grady Jarrett. He was out in Philly. Like you can't be mad at getting an Eagles lineman. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what they breed. So I think this team got better. It's really just going to be relying. I think they picked up Luther Burden. They drafted him as a wideout to help with DJ Moore and Rome Odunze, who came on late in the last season. DeAndre Swift is still there. Cole Kmet is good as a tight end. So yeah, they have a good team. Ben Johnson's going to make that team function better. So yeah. I would take the Bears. Yes,
I think Ben Johnson will come in and simplify things for Caleb Williams.
Yeah,
take decisions away from him and make the game easier, so we can make decisions quick.
Script the first 15 plays. Hey, stick to this. Look for this. Pass here if it's not there. Simple. And this scheme that they'll bring in is like years in the making of a scheme, not like a hodgepodge of shit that they have no idea what the hell is going to happen with it.
Can I offer you?
I thought you were frozen. You didn't move. So
I was listening. I was listening.
Kept talking like I can't tell if he's frozen enough.
I'm going to take away the Bears since you picked them. I'm going to offer you against the Dolphins, the Cardinals.
This is an ugly one.
Yeah.
Because
I want to pick between these two teams.
Similar records, obviously. You really don't know what you're getting from Kyler Murray on a year-to-year basis. 1 year, he can give you 30 touchdown passes and 10 rushing touchdowns. The next, he can give you 15 passing touchdowns and 15 picks. That's just having a 5-5 quarterback. Things like that are going to happen. I don't know what they addressed in the offseason when it comes to picking up players. I don't really think they did. They got nothing that jumps off of the pit. No, nothing. They didn't sign anybody. Here we go. Marvin Harrison Jr. was a disappointment at wide receiver last year. I don't care what anybody says. Like, we were talking about him being like the greatest receiver in the league, and he was not even remotely close. I don't even think he was a top 10 receiver. So the Dolphins have a lot more problems than the Cardinals, even though I said all of that. So I'm going to say the Cardinals would be the higher ranked team on this one.
Oh, wow. Dolphins continue to fall on your here's a good one for you. I think you're going to take the team as well again. And I think you should. I don't want to influence you. Dolphins still on the board. I'm going to offer you the Atlanta Falcons.
The Falcons. I don't even got to answer that question. I'm surprised the Falcons weren't higher for you on this one. I know Mike, the reins have been passed over to Penix. Bijan is a stud running back. Drake London can flash when he wants to. And I think they got a younger defense. AJ Terrell and Jesse Bates are really good in the secondary. So I'll give you those. I'll give you those two. I don't know when it comes to like their offensive or their defensive line. I don't follow the Falcons that much for it. But I would say based off of what you might get from a Michael Penix Jr., where his game in college translates to the NFL. He's the most accurate quarterback in college football history. So like that translates. Lefty quarterbacks also are annoying to play against. as a defense. So we'll see how much of an advantage that gives them. But yeah, I would take the Falcons over the Dolphins.
Yeah, I think so too. They traded up in the draft to get Jalen Walker. So like they made some moves to improve the defense through the draft. They may have paid too much to make
Jalen Walker was in Georgia, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's nice. And their offense should be pretty
good.
solid.
It's not bad. They got a running game. They got one of the better running backs in the league.
One of the better receivers, Drake London.
Good wideout. So I'll give you that.
Kyle Pitts is like maybe
he has a career now. Like I don't know, but like he was supposed to be the best tight end in NFL history. Like it just the grades that he got coming into the league. So we'll see if like we have a coming to Jesus moment with Kyle Pitts. I doubt it. I'm not drafting him. I'm not falling for that again.
Here's one for you. We're getting towards the end, so we'll try to go a little faster to these shitty teams. Dolphins have slipped 6 spots at this point. I'm going to offer you their division rival, the New England Patriots.
The Patriots. Yeah. I think the Dolphins are the worst team in that division right now. Drake May showed me something. And you can say that I'm a Patriots hater. I'm still be a realist. Drake May showed me something last year. He showed that he can play competent quarterback. And Tua, we don't know if he's going to play 6 games. We really have no idea. And when he wasn't out there, they looked like a college football team. Like they had Skylar Thompson out there playing quarterback.
I was gonna say this. You were just shitting on the Dolphins right now, and I think at this point we've lost the script. Like I'll give you you can make a case for the Patriots being better than the Dolphins. That's fine.
Mm-hmm.
But like when Tua's playing, that's a win, right?
But
that is very good.
Yes,
we forget that. We forget how good they are when Tua is playing.
If
do we have to pencil an injury every year to miss 8 weeks?
Yes, because it's happened. It's happened every year since he was in college.
It's crazy.
Every single season. The last time that he didn't get injured in a season is when he played the national championship game because he got subbed in the second half of a national championship game. That's the only season you could say he didn't get hurt. The next season, he did get hurt. The season after that, when he was a rookie, he got hurt. 3 seasons in a row, he got hurt. Like he's going to miss time. It just how much time is he going to miss? And I was on the Tua bandwagon. I was like, they got the Guardian cap for him. He's taking sliding lessons. He's taking, Taekwondo to learn how to fall. Like I was high on Tua. And then last year happened and he was like, I'm still going to go out there and play. And I was like, you're an idiot. Like, I'm not telling you to retire, but you can't get a concussion week 5, come back week 10 and be like, I'm good, and get another concussion. Like that can't keep happening. You hurt your team, and the Dolphins are dumb enough to not have a contingency plan, knowing that he has
Zach
this.
Wilson.
Yeah, they got Zach Wilson. Exactly. All these good quarterbacks that they could have gone up there and gotten as a backup. Like they got
be a great place. Kirk Cousins.
Yes.
If
Kirk Cousins ends up in Miami, I would say that they are probably the second best team in that division. Then I would say that.
Another Florida team. Dolphins still on the board. Jags. You gonna finally say Dolphins here?
I have to. What the hell is going on with Jacksonville? Like, I love the combo of T-Law to BJ Jr., but like BT Jr. No. Like the Jaguars are very bad. I don't like they have no business being bad. I got an update, or like a reminder of like the Patriots Jaguars like conference championship game. Remember that? Like they were up 10 with like 4 minutes left and lost.
Yeah.
They haven't recovered from that. And I don't know what's
time. Oh my god.
The big dude.
Blake something?
Yeah. Blake Bortles. Yeah. They haven't recovered from that. And like this Trevor Lawrence is a second coming of Peyton Manning. No. Like that's not a thing anymore. Travis Etienne, they thought it was
Hunter, though. He's gonna play both sides.
Yeah, but like is that really going to move the needle for them? I don't think so. I think Travis Hunter is a phenomenal athlete, but they got a better receiver on their team. That's Brian Thomas Jr. So put him at corner. Like it doesn't address the internal issues that they have as a organization. So yeah, I'd take the Dolphins on that one. Because Tua could be healthy.
We're gonna slide in the Panthers. Jags versus the Panthers. I actually like the Panthers. Like I think
Panthers did a lot.
they
Panthers
are
did a lot.
making smart decisions, smart moves, and I'm seeing developments with Bryce Young. They're adding to help him out. I like what they're doing in Carolina.
I like that they brought back Dalton. I think that helps. I think that helps the psyche of the little guy, Bryce Young. They brought in Hunter Renfrow, which is going to help when it comes to a receiver that you can trust. I like the moves.
Drafted Ted McMillan.
Yeah, they got another receiver. I forgot about they got Ted. Yep, from Arizona. Yeah, give me the Panthers over the Jags. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think that. I mean, we don't need to go too much in depth, but I would take the Panthers over the Jags. And you talk about people that are drafting 5 or 6 next year. Like they're drafting in the bottom 8, no matter top 8. Jets are a shit show. Oh my goodness.
Jags versus Jets. We'll just wrap that the last couple.
Yeah, let me just see how much of a shit show the Jags are. I mean the Jets are. Justin Fields is potentially hurt because of his toe. Give me the Jags.
Okay, so we have the Jets left. All right, I'm not even gonna put the last couple on the board.
You ain't even gonna talk about the Saints? Ain't that some shit?
Here's what we're gonna. No, I mean I'm not gonna show the graphic, the Chiron. This is where I want to have some fun. Ready?
Okay.
So we have remaining Colts. We have the Jets on the board now. Jets, Colts, Titans, Raiders, Giants, Browns, Saints. Let's play a game to end this.
Okay.
Shall we? Jets or Saints?
Jets.
Saints or Colts?
Colts.
Saints or Titans?
Titans.
Saints or Raiders? I actually look here at what the Raiders are doing.
Yeah, let me. What's the Raiders quarterback situation?
They added Geno, and they got
Raiders.
They got your guy Genty.
Yeah, Raiders.
Saints. There's only 3 teams left, and you love the Saints. Saints or Giants?
Giants have a quarterback. Giants have Jackson Dart.
Last 2 teams. Saints or Browns? Are you the Aints?
Browns have a better roster. Tyrann Mathieu. I genuinely think the Saints are the worst team in the NFL right now.
I think so too, man. I'm sorry.
You know how hard that is as a pill to swallow? Like, it's like, and I'm repping it. It's my squad. You got my little banner up there. Like, I will be just as realistic. I think the Saints might be, especially because they just lost Tyrann Mathieu to retirement. You know, I almost said RIP. Enjoy retirement, 7. You deserve it. But like, Alvin Kamara is just he's a wasted talent there. He's going to retire a Saint. I love it, but like he's a wasted talent. Chris Olave has just as much of scrambled brains as Tua Tagovailoa. Rashid Shaheed thinks that he's good. We brought back Brandon Cooks thinking that that's going to have a spark, but we have Tyler Show throwing the fucking ball back there. Like Drew Brees, as much of a saint he is, and I mean that as a human being, not just like a former quarterback, he can't even say positive things about Tyler Show. That's how bad it's looking camp. It's like the updates that I'm getting is just like, what the fuck? I saw a pass where they were doing a red zone drill. They were like, all right, fourth and goal. This is the throw that you got to make. You got to at least put the ball in the end zone. He overthrew Shaheed by like 20 yards, and it was 4th and goal from the 4. He threw the ball like in the crowd. That's how bad it was. I was like, this is unbelievable that we got him. If they took,
you guys drafted him in the 2nd round too, didn't you, or the 3rd? When did you draft him?
If they took Shador, I would say they would at least be a bottom 10 team. But because they got Tyler Show as their answer to Derek Carr retiring, they are the worst team in the NFL, and it hurts to say that.
You know what though, D? And I know you're a big Saints fan, and I'm sorry you have to deal with this.
It's so bad.
You knew this was coming for years because that team was so bloated cap wise with just overpaid old players.
Fucked.
They kind of need this like reset for, and I'm sorry, like 2 or 3 years to like clear the books and like get young talent in there and like reasonable contracts.
No, it's not just about young talent. They need to get a quarterback.
Well, that's what next year's for.
Quarterback, yes, and that's what the plan is. Everybody's like, well, they can get Arch next year. Arch is going to look at this shit situation and be like, I'm going back to college.
Is that where his grandpa played too?
Yeah, Archie was
perfect.
There.
It's perfect.
Hey, you say that, but every Manning, there's a history behind everything. Every Manning has stayed in college until their senior year. They don't need to go. They don't need to go into the NFL. Also, there's a little bit more. There's a deeper. I know we're going. I mean, we don't have to do a closing. We can do a closing take real quick, but there's a deeper part to this. The offensive coordinator that the Saints just picked up is the father of Garrett Nussmeier, who is the quarterback for LSU right now. Meaning, if the Saints are a top 3 pick next year, Garrett Nussmeier is projected as a top 3 pick. They may draft Garrett Nussmeier next year. And he's not the answer either. I love him at LSU, but he's not the answer as an NFL quarterback. So they're literally digging their own graves with the things that could potentially happen, putting them behind the 8 ball for the next 5 fucking years. So, like, I'm happy we won in 2009. I'll take that shit to the grave with me. But, like, the New Orleans is always going to be the, all right, hey, man, you want to get the kids to go to the game? Nah.
You know what?
Let's just stay at home and watch it.
Hey, brother, listen. You live in North Carolina.
Yeah.
When the Saints play the Panthers, you're gonna get some sweet
Already
ass
tried.
$2 tickets.
Nope, already tried because the Panthers are that much better than the Saints. They like tickets are still like $600. They're still ridiculously expensive.
That's
Maybe
wild.
not 6, but like unless I'm like touching the top of the stadium, which I don't want to do. I don't want to waste
Yeah, that's
4-hour drive to have shitty seats. It's still like $300-$400 a
that's
ticket.
wild. Are you gonna watch the games this year?
I'll watch Panthers games. Yeah, I'll have them on.
You'll have Red Zone on the big screen and then the Panthers game on your phone.
I'll probably have Red Zone on this screen, college football on this screen, and like Saints and Panthers game on this screen. 100%.
I respect that you're still gonna watch that garbage. Meanwhile, I was number 9 in D's power ranking, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So
I'm not even throwing in my. You know what? I'm gonna do it because I want to see this. I skipped 26, 27, so 28, 29. I'm not even putting the teams. I'm just putting Saints 30th.
yeah. What's your ranking? What's your final ranking?
You want me to rip through them all?
Sure.
1 Eagles, 2 Ravens, 3 Chiefs, 4 Lions, 5 Bills, 6 Commanders, 7 Packers, 8 Texans, 9 Chiefs. Oh, no.
9 Chiefs.
No, that was supposed to be. Who did I talk between? Oh, man, I got to do this. I'm not going to do it. We're not going to.
We'll figure it out after the podcast.
10 Bucks, 11 Rams, 12 Chargers, 13 Vikings, 14 Broncos, 15 Niners, 16 Seahawks, 17 Steelers, 18 Boys, 19 Bears, 20 Cards, 21 Falcons, 22 Pats, 23 Dolphins, 24 Panthers, 25 Jaguars, 30th Saints.
That's a pretty solid ranking.
I think this is what you're going to see close to what the draft order is next year.
Yeah. I like that. All right, let's get to closing takes. Get out of here, D. Okay.
The show is coming to an end. But first, it's time to get to anything we've missed. It's closing time. 1 segment, 2 takes. Now go.
All right, y'all. Closing takes. It's a chance for me and D to get off one last take before we take off for the day. I am going to go to the NBA, the association. I just wanted to throw this out there. Did you see Joker after his horse won the horse race?
Yes, I saw the celebration of him spraying everybody in the world with champagne, and then they compared it to when they won the finals.
My guy wins the NBA Finals, which is like the pinnacle for any basketball player. He's having fun. He's smiling. He's doing the champagne, just clowning around. My man's horse wins some random fucking horse race in, where is he from? Like Serbia.
Yeah.
And he is bawling, crying, spraying champagne.
You thought he won the mega fucking millions. Like,
Nikola Jokic is a part-time basketball and a full-time horse lover, man. If I couldn't love this man anymore, he treats his day job of the NBA like we all treat our day job. I love it.
I have it right here. Like, I liked the video earlier today. I was like, this man loves him some horse racing. He definitely treats the NBA like a 9-to-5. Like, fuck, gotta go to Denver for 6 months.
You gotta send me that after the show, by the way. I want to show my wife.
What you say?
You gotta send me that video after the show. I
got you. Yeah, I got you. All right. I guess I'll give mine real quick. I just did it earlier. Actually, no, I'm gonna go a different route. This one came up as my feed. So big shout! College football is here, right? So we are a week away from NFL starting, a couple of weeks away from college football starting, the release of college football games. So a lot of like nostalgia came back. I'm gonna give a shout out to this man that won the Heisman. I know we don't really talk Heisman like history of it, but like, did you ever watch the Reggie Bush versus Fresno State game?
No.
It's come up why I'm saying this is it's come up a lot because of the college football game launching, and it's like Reggie Bush against Fresno State had 513 yards of offense. 513. The man broke like a 70-yard run up the left sideline and did like a video game back juke and took it another 30 yards for a touchdown. Like, he had an insane season. They got a 30 for 30 that's coming out of them breaking down like that season of like the game against Notre Dame where they had the Bush push, the first push of the quarterback into the end zone. He helped them do that. The game he had against UCLA where he has solidified his Heisman, like, and then the Texas game where Pete Carroll did Pete Carroll things without us knowing he was going to do Pete Carroll things 20 years later. Yeah, instead of having Reggie Bush in for the 4th and 1 to get it, he put in the backup and he ran the ball with Lendale White. And it's like that 30 for 30 is coming out. So for those that are an avid college football fan like myself, go look at one of, if not the best college football player in the history of college football in the season he had back when he won the Heisman.
You had me thinking, D. And I was going to ask the question, like, you don't have to answer this. Don't answer this. Is Reggie Bush the greatest college football player ever? And then I want a top 5 from you next week, or next time we meet. Top 5 college football players of all time.
That's
like,
I would love to do that.
Reggie Bush is definitely probably in there. Like, you could make a case from just throwing out names. Cam Newton, for what he did. Maybe Vince Young, some of his work. I don't know, where does Adrian Peterson in consideration for this? As far as just like, not just like he became an excellent pro. Like, I'm talking about like just someone who like
in college. You're talking about just college players.
Yes, just
LeVar Arrington, like motherfuckers that like caused havoc. What's his name? Calvin Johnson when he was at Georgia Tech. Like, just crazy names. Andre Johnson when he was at Miami. Like, there's a lot of good. I mean, the easy one, but you don't know where he would rank. Tim Tebow, multiple national championships, like a Heisman Trophy as a freshman. The football season that Johnny Manziel had, like,
that was wild.
If we're going off of just like players because of their career in college, yeah, that's an extremely difficult list. I would rather do a ranking. I mean, I would rather do a playoff over a ranking for that. Give me not 64, but give me 28 players, and we see who had the best college career. I think that would be a dope episode.
Maybe next time we meet.
We'll see.
I like that. All right, D. Good show. I feel exhausted. That was like fucking work.
You, dog. I didn't even have my water. Like, I'm over here sucking wind a few times. Like, I got my drink. I forgot that I'd left it over there. Like, I can't get up now. We're already live.
I told you, I'm like, hey, I got an idea. You're gonna be talking a fuck ton. You cool that you're like, yeah, let's do it.
I normally have my water next to me, and like 10 minutes in, I realized I didn't. I was like, shit. Like, we're here for the long run, man, and I'm just all parched. Whatever.
It was a workout, man. Thank you for doing that. Thank you for your service.
Whenever we're talking football, I'm all for it. So when we getting up out of here, again, we couldn't appreciate the love for those that were here either in the chat or they were just watching us live. If you're viewing or you listen to us tomorrow, make sure that you find us on all of our platforms. You can find us on Twitch, your boy dfrizzy_frizz5.com. And you can go to my Twitch if you want to. YouTube, Facebook, you can find us at Frizz and the Grizz. Website's at the bottom, frizzandthegrizz.com. For podcast, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever it is that you find your podcast, just look, listen, rate, subscribe, comment, all that jazz. Do it for us. Please, it's the summertime. Make sure you be a friend. Say something nice. You never know what it could do for anybody or what they're going through. The most important, as we getting up out of here, please make sure y'all take care of y'all mentals. Make sure y'all take care of y'all physicals. Take care of y'all chicken. Take care of y'all children. And we'll catch y'all on the rebound. Peace.
We did it.